there, you're welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Kisiwa and I share content on study abroad, scholarship opportunities, and how to move abroad. So if you are interested in such content, then do also hit the subscribe button and turn the post notification on. Now, in my previous video, we talked about the au pair, which is one of the easiest and most affordable way to move to Germany. If you missed that video, I'll leave a link to it in my description so you can go check it out. Now, I promised in that video that I was going to bring on board an au pair to share her experience, and that is what we're going to look at in today's video. We have an au pair currently living in Germany, and she's going to share all the processes involved in becoming an au pair and her general experience so far as an au pair and the benefits of being an au pair. So, if you want to embark on this au pair journey, then do also watch the video to the end, like the video, and subscribe if you haven't. Let's get into it. Hello friends, you're welcome back to the channel. So today I have here with me Blessing. She's an au pair and she's currently in Germany. She's going to share her experience with us as an au pair. She's going to take us through the process, the requirements, and everything you need to know to make it easier for you if you're thinking of becoming an au pair in Germany. So Blessing, you're welcome to the channel.
Thank you for having me here. And hi, guys. My name is Blessing. Currently okay in Germany. And yeah, I'm just gonna share my experience here. Okay. So I'm gonna
Okay.
just start with
So
defining. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna start by defining in general, like okay,
sure.
because a lot of people have confusion as to what it is. They don't know what it is when we say it. So, an au pair is basically a young person. It can even be a male or a female who lives with a host family in a foreign country to help with childcare and like light household tasks. When I say light household tasks, it's like folding the kids' clothes and putting them back in the cupboards,
Okay.
um, tidying up after the kids, and making snacks for the kids. It's not like heavy work. In exchange for this au pair receives shelter and like food. So here they call it room and board. Board is like water and electricity and stuff. And then obviously for the cultural exchange, whereby you experience the carnivals, you go to different locations in the country. You just yeah, I think y'all get it. So
Wow.
that's
I
basically
I
an
was
okay.
thinking okay was only for it was available to only ladies. I didn't know guys were also eligible
No,
to apply for the OPA program.
no, guys are eligible. They have I have like two friends who are, or one was an au
Oh,
pair, and then one is currently an au pair. He au paired in the Netherlands, and now he's au pairing in Germany. So yeah, au pairing is open to gents. Obviously, with gents, it's like a lot of parents are a bit like skeptical to be like, a male au pair. Some are down for it
yeah.
because they need somebody with a strong hand on their sons and stuff like that. So to
Okay, that's cool. But then personally for you, I know you're an African. Which part of Africa do you come from? And where did you
um,
start your OPA process?
so I am a Zimbabwean born. However, I was raised in South Africa and I did my process in South Africa. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Where did you start from? Did you look for a host family before you started with the processes, or you started with the processes before you looked for or you searched for a host family?
Okay, so initially my journey is so funny. Initially I told myself, okay, it's a long one. Okay, let me cut it short. So my family moved away to a European country, and then they were like, "You are left here in South Africa. You need to make a plan to like, come closer to us. So either you come to the country we're in, or you look for an alternative country." So I was initially doing my research, and I found that Germany has free university. Like you can go into university for free, basically. And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this is a good way to go into it." So I started preparing my language and I prepared my language. However, in the process of preparing my language, um, I failed my A2 the first time I tried to do it. And that discouraged me. Then I realized that no, I'm trying to learn a language in a different country. How do I learn this language when I have nobody speaking this language with me in this country? So I need to be in the country that they speak this language for me to be able to learn it. So that's when I started doing more research, and I found that you can do an au pair, and it only requires for you to have A1. So I was like, okay, I can do this. I have a passion of loving kids. Like I really love kids. And I was like, let me give this a try. So that's when I went back, wrote my A1. Then from there, then what? I started, my parents connected me with an agent, started preparing, like, you have to prepare certain documents before getting a host family. So, like a motivational
Okay.
letter to put on your profile, and a CV. They need a CV. I prepared my CV. I answered certain questions of like the kids I would prefer working with, and some personal questions that they wanted to know from this agency. And then from there on, the agency was like, okay, we'll get back to you once we have a host family. Mind you, my agent had told me to say, go book a date for your visa appointment. So
Okay.
I literally booked a date for the 30th of May, and that was 2 weeks away. Like 2 weeks before I booked for the 30th of May. I had no host family, nothing whatsoever. I just had me, and I had booked a visa appointment. I was so scared, and I was like, God, hey. So luckily, I had actually had only two interviews. So I got two host families that approached me like from my profile. The first one, um, yeah, we spoke, and personally, I had my feeling to say this is not the family for me. Um, so I was just a bit like, okay. Then the second one, I don't know. I just felt a connection. This is my current coach family. I just felt a connection to say, I really like this family. I can really work with them. I can bond with them. So
Okay.
yeah. So one thing I would advise people when they're doing um
So
interviews with host families.
we'll get to that side, but before that, you mentioned
Mhm.
agency. So when you made your own research about the au pair, then you were already taking the language class to write the A1.
Yes.
So
Yes.
when you made research that there is an opportunity for you to move to Germany to learn the language, did you search
Yes.
for an agency, or I mean, how did it go between you? At what point did you get the agency into the picture? And how do you find agencies to work with? And how much does it cost to work with an agency? And how long does it take for an agency to find you a host family? I'm asking three questions at the same time.
I'll do my best to answer the questions. So in terms of the agency, so this agent was supposed to assist me in terms of getting something called an Ausbildung, which is an apprenticeship here in Germany. However, he was like, no, I think it's best for you to first get into Germany, then we'll work to getting an Ausbildung. And the easiest, quickest way was to do au pairing. So that's when he was like, I will go with you through the process of preparing. However, this agent was a third party agent. So he was the middleman between me
Okay.
and the agent here in Germany. So when I ended up realizing that this guy is making me pay him for him to connect me to a free agent, I kind of was like, let me connect to them directly where I don't have to
Directly.
continue paying you. Yeah. So I literally kicked the middleman out, and then I started working directly with the agent here in Germany. And then everything works. So the agent here that gets people, strictly host families, he doesn't charge you. They don't charge you to get your host family. However, you need to, yeah, he's an agent here in Germany. Like he runs the
So
whatever
how did
is
they
it?
get money to run their agency? How are they able to get resources or financial aid to run their agencies?
Because he what normally happens is that with his agency, the host family is the one that pays and says, can you get us
Oh,
a
okay.
host? Yeah, yeah. That's initially how it happens. However, our fellow Africans tend to make money out of us and become middlemen to try and connect
Well,
us
yeah.
to the other.
Yes. I mean, they are also offering some form of services. So, I mean, we get
Yeah,
it.
true.
You
So
should
yeah,
understand. So,
yeah.
where can we find the agencies? I mean, if I want to join the au pair, I want an agent. Where do I find them? Find them? How do I find them? I see some on TikTok, but I doubt if they are genuine because there are a lot of
Mhm.
scammers on the net now, so you can trust it just anything you see out there. So, where do I find them?
So I would suggest the ones I know that are really good. There's one called OVC, mainly for South African, for people in South Africa. Then there
Okay.
is the one that I use. He normally says he likes to work with people with visa appointment dates, so I do not prefer sharing his
Detail?
agent
No.
name.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, because now people might go bombard him with so many questions, but they don't have their things in order, and it just doesn't work.
Okay.
Um, but how to find them normally is you search up, say, okay agencies, and then they will show you the direct. They'll give you a website to use okay agencies. So you click on it to see the website and click on the directions. So it shows you which part of, like, if it's in Germany, Germany, or it's just a fake looking
Okay.
agency. And then normally they have like emails, so you email them, inquire, or send in a message via WhatsApp and just inquire. And yeah, some have Facebook accounts. You go check on their Facebook accounts just to check about if they're authentic and if people have reviewed them and stuff like that. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay. Let's talk about the cost involved in all of this. I heard somewhere that every cost involved in the au pair is totally free. Like you don't pay anything apart from the language class U2 for the A1. Every other thing is free. Your host family is going to take care of that. How true is it?
Okay, so this is how it works. Obviously, you have to pay for your courses, your language course before making it to Germany. So up for you to get up until A1. And then you have to normally depends on the agency that you use. Like with OVC, they will tell you pay a certain amount of normally they were talking about last time I checked, it was like 11K in rands, 11,000
Okay.
rands or so. And then what's this? They'll say we can, with this money, we are going to deduct our share, and then we are going to also pay for your flight and pay for your visa. And then yeah, but your language, you do your language separately. But obviously, you pay for your language separately.
Yeah, yourself.
Um, and then if you are ever going through the process that I did, I had to pay for my language myself. I had to pay for my visa appointment myself, or well, my visa in general, and then I had to pay for my flight. In other instances, you can communicate with your host family if you already have a host family. So
Okay.
what people might have heard is that so sometimes you can communicate with your host family to say, can you pay for my plane ticket? And then once I arrive, I will work for it once I'm there, or will deduct from my monthly pocket money to pay you back for for the
Oh,
flight.
okay.
Yeah, so normally people can work like that with their host families. So yeah, because there are some people that actually don't have
Um,
money for the flight.
Now you land in Germany. What do you do as an au pair? And I've seen people share very bad experiences. So, but we'll not get to that. We'll get to that maybe later on. But then, what do you do as an au pair, and what are your responsibilities? Let me put it that way. Your responsibilities, your duties, your rights as an au pair in Germany.
Okay. So my duties here, basically, I what do I do? I prepare the kids' bread boxes, which is lunch boxes. I get them ready, make sure that they are ready for school in the morning. They have breakfast, just to encourage them to be like, okay, let's hurry up, let's get your clothes on. The other one, I dress her up, and you know, and then also I do supermarket runs here and there, not always. pick up the kids, to take them from either school to a doctor's appointment or back home or wherever we need to go. Sometimes we go to like places like Superfly, which is like a bouncing place where they
Okay.
bounce. Movies, we um play with them outside in the backyard, bake, make
Oh, okay.
milkshakes, watch movies, do crafts with them. And then in terms of housework, the light housework part, I normally fold laundry or put in the laundry, pack it in the cupboards, vacuum because we have a cleaning lady that comes every 2 weeks. So I vacuum from
Oh,
time to
okay.
time to ensure the house is not too messy for the kids' sake, obviously. And then one of our biggest rights is we are entitled to 1.5 days off. So basically, like you work half day on Saturday, and then on Sunday you're completely free. Normally they say Sundays you're completely free, but it all depends with your
Okay.
host
So
family.
I
Mhm.
missed something there. So you were entitled to 1 point.
5 days, free time.
Oh, free
Yeah.
time
So
within the
basically,
week.
yes, within the week, yes. So it
Okay.
could
How do you
be.
calculate that? 1.5 days. This that's less than 48 hours. How do you calculate it to be free?
So normally they say strictly you need to have a Sunday. So normally they say Sundays are off
Yeah.
unless your host family asks you to work, obviously. And then with me, I don't work full day on a Saturday. So like half day, I know maybe like around 12, 1, depending on what time I started working in the morning. Then I'm off the rest of the day. So yeah, that's
Okay.
how.
So it works. Um you stay with the host family, right? So if you're taking Sunday off, doesn't mean you have to move outside of the host family's home, or you'll be in the house, but then you're not going to work, you're not going to do anything concerning your upper duties.
So no, it does not mean you have to move out the house because where are you going? um, so
I mean,
normally
that's all right.
so normally how I spend my Sundays is I just chill in my room. So I chill in my room. If I want food, the kitchen, I still have access to the kitchen. And because of the kind of person I am, if I come out of my room and I see the kids and I see that they might need help, I obviously just help here and there and be like, did you eat? Did you get something to eat? And if they say no, and I'll be like, okay, can I make you something to eat? Other people choose to completely not touch anything, but like, yeah, there are some OPs that are so strict with I don't work on Sundays. I think that they don't greet anybody in the house. A bit rude,
Okay.
but yeah.
Yeah.
So you still have access to the kitchen, you still have access to the house. It's just your free day. You're not like supposed to work. So you can choose to do whatever you want.
So I know the au pair program is like a cultural exchange program. So you get to properly integrate into the German culture and you have to learn the language. So as an au pair, do you have times that you go for language classes to learn the language, or speaking it with your host family is enough for you to learn it? And if you are to go for classes to learn the language, who takes care of that cost involved in you learning the language?
So you're only allowed to work 6 hours in a day as an OPA. So today alone, I'm allowed to work 6 hours. So how my day is split up is to say I wake up in the morning from 6:30 to 8:30. That's my first 2 hours of the day. And then the other 4 hours, I do them once the kids are done with school. So from between 8:30 till up until I start, normally I start at like 3:30 or 4:30 up until during that time period, it's my time to be doing my language course and my whatever I need to get done with. So I personally didn't find language courses I liked here. So I prefer doing them online. So I do my work online. And the person who covers this course is normally your host family. So with other people, they will arrive and the host family has already enrolled them in language courses they already know that are good for them or that are good in their area. And then with me, I just chose, I asked to say, can you let me pick one that I prefer? And I preferred online because it's more flexible. Because I have days whereby sometimes the kid is sick. So I can attend to the kid without having to compromise my learning time. Because I can now say, okay, if I didn't do it in the afternoon when I was supposed to, I can move my classes to nighttime, or I can move my
Okay.
classes to early morning. So yeah.
Okay, but so far, how is your experience? Would you, I mean, given the chance for you to come back to South Africa, will you still choose to be an au pair?
Okay. I've been in Oku for close to 7, 8 months. Um, would I do this job again? No, guys, I'm being realistic with you guys. I love kids, but when you have to work with kids on a daily basis with like the way I do, personally, I wouldn't do au pairing again. I don't know.
Well,
It's just
well,
no,
I don't
because
think you don't
kids are
think.
kids. No,
Yes, kids are
because
kids, but
kids
this
are
is like
kids.
it's an experience for you to maybe to learn how to live with kids when you finally have one. I mean, out there to live with them so you know how to go about it, or it's a bit difficult to live with.
It's a different experience. It's a different experience from your own kids and someone else's kids, because I need to know my limit to say what rules I can enforce with the kids. I need to run those rules by the parents. I need to know that also here the kids have so many rights. So I need to know my limits. If I say no to a kid at least 3 times and they choose not to do it, all I can do is step back and watch them do what they choose to do, because if ever it goes to the law, I'm going to be seen as the bad guy, you see. So like it's a lot, it needs patience. It needs a lot of patience that I feel like I don't have anymore. But I wouldn't mind being a teacher. And that's a funny thing. I wouldn't mind being a teacher because with a teacher, the child goes back home and that's okay. So yeah.
I do get it, sure.
Yeah.
So, for how long can one be an au pair, and for how many times can you be an au pair?
So in Germany, you can only be an au pair once. It's a once in a lifetime thing. So you can either be an au pair for 6 months or an au pair for 12 months.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that's strictly for Africans. But if you're coming from a different country, like a European country, they extend their contracts to like 18 months, some 2 years or whatever. But
Okay.
because Africa has a specific rule of strictly 12 months, nothing
12
more.
months.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Sure. So then, to the next question. I mean, this more like the benefit of being an au pair. Uh, Being an au pair was a benefit in it, and what future do you see after being an au pair, or what opportunities are available to people who want to be an au pair after they are done with the au pair program? What are the opportunities available to them?
okay, so the benefits of being an au pair is it has a huge advantage in terms of learning the language, the German language, a very huge advantage. Um, Also, once being in the country, it's way easier to extend your branches, like to see the different opportunities here that you can get because you're now already in the country. So the other branches you can go to, there's something called an FS there's something called a BFD, there's something called an apprenticeship, it's an Ausbildung that you can do.
Yeah.
Yes. And like I said, the advantage of these, like, so normally when you're in Africa with these three that I've stated, they say we require B1. But once you're in Germany and you tell them, I have A2, they will look at you and say, okay, we can take you because you're already in our country. Because, yeah, so it's easier to
Yeah.
get these placements, even with an A2 language. So,
Okay. Sure. And I think this will be my last question. So, even if buddy watching wants to be an au pair in Germany, what advice would you give to the person?
yeah.
Honestly.
if you want to be an au pair in Germany, definitely have a love for kids. You must have a love for kids because if you don't and you get pushed to your limits, it's gonna be a difficult one. Um, Besides having a love for kids, you must, as a person working in Germany, yes, you can be kind, but don't let them push your kindness to your limits. Like they push, they push. So know your kindness and its limits. I don't know if I'm making sense, but like know the limit to say, yeah, I can be kind, but at the same time, set your boundaries to say this doesn't work. And read code of contact, the code of conduct, yeah, code of conduct. Read your rights as a worker before coming into any country, any European country. Read your rights and know them and do not allow yourself to be a pushover. And first, and when you do arrive as an au pair, sit your host family down, communicate how your working hours are, ask for a schedule every single week so that you know what your duties are. And do let them know that yes, you can be flexible, but you can be flexible to a limit. Don't let them push you over because that's
Okay,
how
so
we
it's
reach like the bad stories of a horrible au pair. Yeah. So
yeah. Now, I
yeah.
said the other one was the last question, but this will be the last question.
Alles good.
Um, the question keeps coming. So,
Mm-hmm.
if you find yourself in a situation where your host family is not being good to you, they are not treating you right, you're not going according to the code of conduct, what do you do? What's the best thing you can do?
Okay, so here in Germany, there's something called the Albertur, whereby you can literally write in and explain your situation to say you are being mistreated or they are making you work overtime. There have been a friend of a friend was being made to work overtime, and she wrote into Albertura and they came back and said, okay, you have to pay this person this amount because you've been making them work way overtime. And if you're working with an agency that I came with, you can just send them a message and tell them, no, I'm being mistreated. I would kindly like a rematch. They offer rematches. And once you're here, there are other you can now find more agencies once you're in Germany that are willing to do rematches or exchange you because you can terminate or pay contract within 2 weeks,
Okay.
14 days notice, and it's terminated. So yeah, sometimes depends on how terrible it is, and they might move you to like a hotel for 1 week up until they find you a rematch or you know, and yeah,
That's
yeah,
then that's okay. I'm sure those who had
yeah.
those bad experiences had no idea they could do this.
Mhm.
But since you have made it known to my viewers, in case they find themselves in such situations, which I pray they wouldn't find themselves, they will do as you have recommended. So, thank you
Yeah.
so much for the time once again. I really do appreciate you being here. Anyway, she's on TikTok. I'll leave her TikTok link
Yeah,
at the
my
top
DMs are open.
in my description
Yeah.
box. So you can ask her all the questions. I mean, you can join her on live. She's not on YouTube yet, right?
Not yet, not yet. Soon, soon, we coming soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's on YouTube. So if you want to reach out to her, you can check her out on TikTok. So do you
Yeah.
want to say anything?
Yeah, so on one of my TikTok page, on my TikTok videos, there is a link in the comment section to a WhatsApp group where people are sharing information on au pairing in different parts, different countries. And I'm also sharing a bit of A1 notes on like A1 notes you can use,
That's
podcasts and stuff like that that you guys can use. And yeah, guys, you don't have to do this journey alone. My DMs are open. I'm willing to help. I ain't charging you guys anything. So
Thank
yeah.
you so much, Leslie. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. I'm so grateful. So,
Mm.
guys, thank you so much if you stayed till now. I know the video is a bit lengthy. I didn't plan for it to be this long, but well, there are questions. There are more questions, but let me know in the comment
We can do a
section
part
or
two.
Yeah, just to join you on TikTok. I mean, one of these
Yeah.
days she'll do a live and then she'll answer all your questions. So do want to join her there. So thank you so much if you stay till
All right.
now, and see you in my next video. It's a bye for now.